This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Casa 0101 Theater for their presentation of Mariela in the Desert.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with?
I'm Robert Beltran, sometimes known as Robert Beltran.
Actually, well, for the people who don't know you, I mean, obviously you were in Star Trek. I loved you in Star Trek. I thought you were fantastic. I'm kind of a fan of the show.
Thank you, thank you. Was there a question there?
Oh, sorry. Okay, question is basically, okay, so what drew you to this piece?
Well, I'm drawn to beautiful plays, beautiful writing, and this is that. And a great cast. And Casa 101 afforded us a place to do the play. So it was a win-win-win situation.
So why did you start directing plays like this? I mean, don't tell me you're doing this for the money, because I know that's not true.
No, I did Star Trek for the money. This is for love.
Okay. I always ask these questions of directors. I always ask about the story and I always ask about the cast. What do you look for in your casting?
I look always for good, well-trained actors that have that are intelligent, that are emotionally accessible, and love what they're doing.
I love this piece. First of all, in the very beginning, it tells you that basically the son was kind of handicapped, and also that he passed away. So I'm not giving away the story, but I got it at the end where basically it's like, do you know there's an 80% chance that the family will get divorced if their son is handicapped? Also an 80% chance a family will get divorced if their son dies. Only problem is they're Catholic. You can't get divorced. They're artists too, so again, I feel them being moved by this traumatic burden because I have a friend whose son is blind.
Yeah.
And basically someone once said to him, "I know what you're going through." He said, "You have no idea what I'm going through."
Yeah.
Don't ever say that to me. You have no idea what. That's
True.
them. You have no idea what these guys are going through, and that's what tapped into their artistry.
Yes, you have the burden, as it says in the play. Being talented is a burden, and then when you have personal circumstances like a child who's handicapped and requires a lot of attention that might take you away from your creative life, you have to make a priority choice, and that's what Mariela does. But her sacrifice redeems her in the end.
Once again, obviously I loved it just by listening to me. I love the people you chose, the actors. They were fantastic. I love the story itself also. Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. It was a great audience. Great audience.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with?
Hi, my name is Randy Vasquez, and I play Adam Lovitz in the play Mariela in the Desert at Casa 101 and 0101 in Boyle Heights, East LA. He loves Mexican expressionism. He thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. And he wants to be a part of it. He wants to support the great artists. It's a period piece. We're talking 1950 is when the story takes place. So he wants to help he's an ally to the Mexican artists like Frida Kahlo, Diego Tamayo, Siqueiros, and these types of people. He wants to be their ally in getting their work out into the world even more than it was then. But I mean, he really has a hard time with what's going on in American art, the American art scene at the time, Jackson Pollock, just the abstract movement. He just thinks in Mexico, the artists in Mexico, they paint more of the truth. They're more in touch with the truth at a gut level.
I really like this piece, but my question is basically, again, it's a Latino piece, or at least Latino artist here. Is there a difference between, say, Latino theater and, say, other type of theater? For example, my viewers actually heard you in another piece, Closer. That was shocking. It was really dark. Would you see something like that here, where it would be just blatantly dark and maybe almost?
I think both pieces speak about masculinity, frailty of masculinity. Masculinity that some might say is ruining the world. And I think that Closer certainly had that elements of that. This play really has it. I mean, when a man really tries to dominate a relationship, you have a story like this. You have Mariela in the Desert, and when the traditional roles of the woman, the submissive role, when a woman kind of fades into that, it really causes a lot of stress, and that's what happens in the story. And even though the story takes place in 1950, I think a lot of domestic situations are similar still.
Yeah, once again, I really love the piece, and I did see how there was a bit of a Latino shadow behind it, because again, she couldn't get divorced because she was Catholic. They kind of had problems, and she couldn't really free herself until after after the end, when she was kind of away from her husband. That's when she really opened up a little bit. I kind of see a little bit of that theme, but again, I really did like the piece.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only about that, about relationships and men and women and masculinity, femininity, but it is about art. It's about ambition, the traps of ambition, the issues of creativity, the blocks, the flow, intergenerational trauma, intergenerational issues. But also lack of communication and secrets, family secrets, lack of communication and the consequences of that.
Yeah, once again, I really love the piece. I really liked you in it too. I thought you really.
What'd you like about it? What'd you like about me, or the character, or whatever?
Well, first of all, in your character, you kind of brought a life. Anytime you walked on stage, maybe because the female lead was a little quiet, but you kind of brought life into it. Maybe the daughter was going through the problems, and she always felt like she was having some social things. But when you always brought kind of a stably calming to it, brought me back a little bit towards a kind of like reality, and I kind of felt your energy.
Did you buy the relationship between me and the younger woman? I feel that needs some kind of something. I mean, that's real. You have the fatherly boyfriend. I don't know. How did that come
First of all, in Latino families, it's not that uncommon that the husband would be a lot older than the wife. Again, it was just like her mother. Her mother was like that too. Same type of relationship.
And Frida and Diego are like that too. So you have three sets of older woman who is trying to find her way in the relationship and be strong. For me, as Adam, I was trying to be a fair partner. And be a loving partner, as opposed to being an opportunistic partner. But although I think that's part of it, I think there was opportunism with young Blanca and me. Obviously, I'm the intelligent older man, knows my subject matter, appreciates what she's doing in her life, what her parents did. And then me, obviously, her milieu, her family, the people she hangs out with. I mean, that's what I support them, and I mean, this character hangs out with Diego and Frida. It's amazing, hanging out with these people, and they accepted me. So I got something going on. Something's going right.
Well, I look at you almost like a father figure for her, because she was around her father, but her father was very distant from her.
Yeah.
Kind of. Well, maybe artists are kind of like that. Now she was looking for someone to replace her father, and it turns out she got someone just like her father. Someone who was a professor, someone. So it was very realistic in that situation.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's a good point. The similarities, the identical situations. I think you have Adam walking into this situation, this house, not a house of horrors. I don't want to say that, but towards that direction where, oh my God, I know that they're going to look at me as the older guy. I know that's a given. I'm going to have to deal with that. I'm nervous about that, but I have to win them over. But it's not easy. It's not an easy win, and it's a struggle. He did not expect what he comes into, but he deals with it, and he ends up challenging the lead woman, Mariela, in the one scene in the second act. He's the guy he's the agent that turns everything upside down, pretty much. He says, listen, what's the truth here? Yeah, truth is one of the themes in many different ways in the play.
Kind of the outsider looking at the family, because the family's been together, it evolved together. The outsider comes in, but the outsider who came in is almost like a puzzle piece in there, who's very similar to the father.
Yeah,
really tied to art. You know, replaces the woman's father figure there. So in a sense, he looks like an outsider, but almost like he fits together like a puzzle piece. That's what I thought about your character.
Yeah, no, it is. He's the outsider who feels at home when he's not at home, like he says, and he comes in and he messes things up. I mean, but that drives the drama, and that creates the conflict. And you have this mad genius in Jose, the painter. And there's secret, and I come in knowing stuff about them. I know some secrets, like why isn't the... I don't want to give up too much, but let me know if I'm giving up too much.
I'll cut it out.
You know, why isn't he signed? Why does Diego refer to him as he stole that? I mean, who are you people, really? And why don't you come back to Mexico City? Why are you staying out here in this desolate, beaten down house? And you're angry, you're bitter, you're rude. You know, what the f*** is going on here? So that's I think she does a really good job of unraveling that and giving us a beautiful ending. Really beautiful.
Yeah, once again, I love the piece. Thank you very much for being on the show, and also I really like talking to you. We always talk about the meaty subjects.
Anytime. Hopefully I'll be doing another show in the spring, but you know, we can stay in touch and maybe you can come check that one out too.
Well, I'll definitely come. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Rachel Gonzalez. I'm an actor. I've been doing a lot of theater work, especially here at Casa 0101, so I'm very happy to be back here in Mariela in the Desert. I play Mariela. I think she's a beautiful character. I think that there's many layers to her, and I think it's always fun. It's fun for me to discover those layers, and I think and as I'm playing the character, for the audience to be able to see the peel come off little by little. So I think she's a very interesting, complex character.
I really like the piece. I thought it covered some things, but I think some people wouldn't understand it. I remember once I spoke to someone whose son was blind, and someone once said to him, "I know what you're going through. I feel sorry for you." And he said to him, "You have no idea what I'm going through. You have no. Don't ever say that. That's what this was about." I'm afraid that some of my audience wouldn't understand, because this had a deep, deep feeling about a person who basically could not discover her art until after her husband was gone.
Yeah, I think you're right. There are certain things I think that maybe if we don't experience them ourselves, that are difficult. If you're not a super empathetic person, to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes, and even then, you don't necessarily really know what that is unless you live it. So I think that's why it's art is beautiful in that way, that we get to experience other people's lives, and particularly with theater, and witness those kinds of things without, and hopefully get into the characters' heads and experience it a little bit through them, right? And be able to understand it a little bit better. So I think that's where the medium of theater really is powerful, and being able to say, maybe you don't know what these experiences are like, but you can see how it affects a person if they live through this kind of thing.
Another question: do you think there's a difference between Latino theater and non-Latino theater?
You know, I wouldn't say that there's necessarily a difference in terms of. I think they're both theater, and I've done both Latino theater and non-Latino theater. I think as a Latino actor, I definitely feel like I keep coming back to Casa 0101 because the types of roles that are offered to me and available to me here are so much stronger and deeper, and I guess it really depends on what other theater company or theater that you go to and audition at, but whether or not you're given those kinds of roles. I think for me that's the bigger difference, because if a character is a character no matter what, and a story like this, a story is universal. So I don't think that necessarily there's a difference in any other way other than maybe the opportunities that are available to us as actors.
it. I really liked the performance tonight. I like the performance of everyone tonight. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Vance Valencia. Born in East LA for real. Went to all the schools here. Started doing drama and acting in junior high at Robert Louis Stevenson Junior High. Graduated from Cal State LA. Spent my time doing theater all over California. And I'm back here at home doing what I love. I played Jose Salvatierra, the family patriarch. My feeling is that he's a wonderful man with no vision, great artist, but has lost his sight, metaphorically that is. He is someone in this play, when we catch up to him, is faced with his mortality, and that's something that we all have to deal with, and so that's where I jumped from.
I've actually seen several plays this year about art, about artists themselves. They're all kind of different, and they're all different art styles. It's like one was from New York, this one's from Mexico, and all that. One thing that kind of struck me was that are they like different? Are they all art, or is it like different? I mean, is it really different, or are they all paintings? Question I also have about theater: is there a difference between Latino theater and, say, mainstream theater, or just theater? Is there a difference?
Okay, the first part of the question is our play is about Mexican expressionism, so that is a specific genre in art. Okay, taking place with starting somewhere around the 30s and working its way through. We talk about Diego Rivera and Rufino Tamayo and Frida Kahlo and all of the artists of that time. So yeah, it's very specific. Okay, with regard to Latino theater, we don't think of this as Latino theater. We think of it as Latinos doing theater. So the idea really is that it's universal work. But the truth is, it's a Mexican playwright with a specific idea in mind when she wrote it. So, it's universal, and yet at the same time, there is a target.
Okay. Well, first of all, I really loved the performance. It was really, how should I put it? It really transcends some of your thoughts of understanding. If you saw the play, you kind of understand that. But I actually really liked it.
Beautiful. I'm glad that you did. We worked very hard in order to have an audience that really appreciated it. I'm glad that you did. The fact that you understood the story, that's a coup, because that's what it's all about. It's all about telling the story and then allowing the audience to absorb it and find the connections that they can make in their own life. And I hope that when you drive home, as everyone else that's here tonight, when they drive home, they fill in the gaps, write the next chapter to the story, and hopefully will have changed their lives in some way.
Well, again, once again, I really enjoyed the play. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Vanessa Vasquez. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, but I've been living in Los Angeles 4.5 years, and I'm an actress here, and I'm really excited to be in this play, Mariela In The Desert. It's my second production here at Casa 0101, but I'm glad to be back on stage because I've been working on television for the past 3 years on East Los High Hulu original, and it's been fantastic, and I'm excited to be back on stage too. Tonight I played the character of Blanca, which is the daughter of Jose and Mariela Salvatierra, which are famous painters. I love Blanca. I think Blanca resonates with a lot of artists because she aspires to be an artist as a little girl, and her family, her mother doesn't want her to be for whatever reasons. So she has to break away and find her own artistic endeavors and get into those and really find herself as an artist and allow herself to be an artist regardless of what's happening. So I think, I love Blanca because I feel I connected with her a lot too. Of having to come to LA and find my own art in a sense, and it's great.
Yeah, I love the performance tonight. I love the actors. I especially love you because you actually played a child also, and that's kind of hard to do, playing the child and an adult.
Yeah, I played 12-year-old Blanca and also 21-year-old Blanca, but that was a lot of fun. I think I have a lot of fun getting to play a little girl. That's always fun, right?
Do you think there's a difference between Latino theater and regular theater? I mean, there's some lines they don't cross, like, maybe people shouldn't get murdered, no suicide, things like that.
Well, I I mean, I think art is subjective, and no matter what it is, I think any type of art is going to connect should connect universally with anyone. So I feel like Latino theater, the only difference is maybe there's some Spanish words here and there, but I feel like all stories can resonate with everyone. Yeah.
Once again, I really like the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm on KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Denise Plazon. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I moved to the United States to go to college, and then went to Chicago, worked there, and then made a move here. And I've been working in theater for many, many years. Bilingual Foundation of the Arts, where I'm associate artistic director. I've worked at the Odyssey, at the Taper, all the little theaters around here, and so basically I'm a stage actor, but I'm also a director, and I do a lot of voiceover work and some film and some TV. So that's my life in short. I played Oliva in this play, in Mariela in the Desert. Oliva is a woman that has sacrificed herself, has lived with her brother, taking care of him, and who expected life to be totally different, who thought that she would have a family of her own, a husband that would love her. She was raised with beauty, she was raised with art, and coming from a wealthy family, and then all these dreams that she had are dissolved, and so now she feels like she has nothing, like she's a servant, and she serves as Blanca's aunt, but also like a second mother, because Mariela doesn't really take care of the daughter since she's so busy with the son, and she's very reserved in many ways. We have suspicions that perhaps she had sort of a little bit of a wildness when she was young, but something went terribly wrong, and Oliva, which is the color green and which is also an olive, is, I think, the symbol of someone that of age, someone that of sacrifice, someone that gives and gives and gives and doesn't really get that much in return. At the end of the play, though, when she finally, and she's found religion as her way of life, because she needs to have faith in something, because if not, she would kill herself, right? So at the end of the play, when her brother dies, and Mariela finally can show her emotion and her love to her and her gratitude, we see this lightness coming out of this woman that has worn dark dresses through her adult life. There's a beautiful line in the play in which she says, "Now I live in a dark dress." What a beautiful line. I mean, she lives inside herself. She can't show who she truly is. But at the end has a happy ending, because it's the release of everyone through the death of one character, who also finds release through his death. So that's what I feel my character is all about.
Well, I love the performance. I thought it was very, very moving, and actually touched a lot of layers you wouldn't think, and it actually brought a little bit of the Latino characters. For example, like the fact she was Catholic, she couldn't get a divorce. The fact that they, that with that trauma of a child and the death of her child, at the end, kind of looking like being inspired by God and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Being inspired by God, which is how she leads her life. She feels that God can help her, that God can help everyone, and whether that's true or not, but it works for her. I mean, that's what keeps her ticking. That's what keeps her alive.
Once again, I really like the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Kenneth Lopez. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I went to school in New York, studied acting, then I moved out here, studied acting out here. Just recently did a thing at Casa 101, just did a Mexican trilogy at the LATC, and this is my second performance here at Casa. I'm excited. I played Carlos, the young disabled son. He's a very special kid. Obviously, you know, he has it never specifies in the script exactly what he has, but I played him slightly autistic. And he's just a really special kid, and he's very smart. You know, he's really smart. Like kids with disabilities like that, they have a lot of attention and a lot of focus. And I don't know. It was a challenge for me, but it was fun.
I look at your character a little bit like the heart of the play. It's kind of the innocent heart.
Definitely,
you know
definitely.
What I mean?
Yes, yeah, definitely. You want to speak on that?
Yeah. Well, basically, how do you play that? How do you play the heart of a play?
Well, you know what? This is really funny. I'm not in the play that much. You know, I'm only in like 2 scenes. You saw the play, right? So I'm only in about 2 scenes, and but they talk about him pretty much in every scene. He's brought up in every single scene, which is why you're saying he's definitely the heart of the play. And I actually did think about this when I was in high school. I played French horn, and they say that French horn is the heart of the band, and it doesn't come out it doesn't come out all the time. It just comes out every once in a while. And I thought about it like that, and it's so funny that you're saying that. I've actually thought about that in the very recent future. Yeah.
Okay. Well, even though you weren't into that often, I really like the way you played. It's a very challenging role playing someone autistic.
Yes.
So I really like the way you played.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Yeah, brother.
Mariela in the Desert will be playing at Casa 0101 Theater from November 4th to December the 11th. For more information, go to www.casa0101.org.